right, people. Welcome back to another episode of Binging and Bickering. And because Dan and I can't seem to fucking forget about high school, we're going to center this episode around the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's take all the characters from that have been on TV shows, movies.
We're not excluding
No.
movies or, well, just anything. Just like any high school, like whether it's in, you said it, TV or movies. If they're in high school, then they're on the list. But we wanted to create our own Breakfast Club in an homage to the Breakfast Club.
John Hughes' Breakfast Club, which, if you guys are unfamiliar, is essentially 5 different high school archetypes serve detention together, and they just kind of bond, figure their shit out, and
smoke pot.
And it's a classic.
And
it's
dance.
A great movie. They dance. There's a jerk off principal who watches them.
Yeah.
Right? Or something. But before we launch into it, we sound like kind of unenthusiastic to start this.
I'm very
Club's
excited.
A great movie.
Yeah, Breakfast Club's a great movie. I put together a stupid list, so
it's going to be fun.
I'm excited.
While we probably haven't given you guys a reason to do so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. We love doing this channel and having these conversations with you guys. So the 5 archetypes, if you guys don't know, and we have them on the board, is you got the party animal, which is Bender in the Breakfast Club. And then you have the jock, which is Emilio Estevez. I do not remember his name in the movie.
No.
But he's a wrestler. And you have
your dad looked like Emilio Estevez when he was younger.
He did. And then you have Anthony Michael Hall, who plays the nerd.
Loser.
Who has a flare gun in his
who
locker.
tried to kill himself with a flare gun.
And then you have
I feel like you could.
Molly Ringwald as a bitch.
Yeah. And then Ali Sheedy as the loner. I love Ali Sheedy.
I like when
she was like the it girl in the 80s. She was in like every movie.
When I was younger, I'd always get freaked out when she'd tie the string around her finger and it goes purple.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing that?
I don't know. So she could get in the Ninja Turtles movie.
The like the 90s one?
Yeah.
Is it the 90s?
Yeah.
Those are goofy.
Yeah, I like those. And she was also in Short Circuit. The first Short Circuit, the better one. I don't think she was in the second one. But the guy who's actually white and plays like an Indian guy, which...
But we are not talking about Ali
involved.
Sheedy this episode. We were talking about the Breakfast Club. So let's start. Would you want to capture like a vibe with the people you were serving detention with? Like, are you going with like a specific group or just a bunch of ragtags?
A bunch of ragtags, but I think all of my people would get along together and we'd have an awesome party.
Who would be your Bender, your party animal?
Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Interesting, because we haven't seen a high school Shaggy.
I think,
we knew what he did.
Yeah. Shaggy, before he was solving mysteries, there was like a young Scooby-Doo, where Shaggy was like a younger, I think it was called A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, and it was on Saturday mornings when we were kids. But Shaggy, he always has like these 10-foot long sandwiches, and he always has pot.
The pot thing is more of a conspiracy theory.
He loves the color green. Mary Jane is his favorite name if we're talking about like the Scooby-Doo live action movie. Like he says zoinks. Or he's definitely like supplying the party with drugs and he always brings like food. Like he's always got food with him.
A dog.
He's always got his dog Scooby, but I'm not bringing Scooby around. I just want Shaggy.
Yeah, you don't want a dog shitting on the floor during detention.
Yeah, so Shaggy is my party animal because I feel like and also I feel like even though he's like zoinked out of his mind all the time, like he's still, like he's still pretty good at solving mysteries every so often. Like it's not just Freddy.
The detention mystery.
Yeah.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
You're not going to be expecting the next
Like you
one
brought
either.
up Smithers.
Yeah. You're definitely not going to guess the next one either.
At first, I thought Dave Wooderson from Dazed and Confused, but he's a fucking creep.
He's like 26.
Remember when he hits on, I can't remember her name, but the redhead, and they're like, we were like 3 when he graduated.
And he's like, hey, little red, how about you drop the geeks and come hang out with us?
So I thought Wooderson at first, and I was like, no, he'll bring the cops around or something.
Yeah.
Dawson's like, what, you're going to get arrested one of these days. So no Wooderson. A little too creepy. Of course, Bender's great. Stifler. You're gonna get laid if you're around. Actually, no, Stifler's going to steal your chick.
Yeah.
So that's why I left him off. Have you seen The Spectacular Now?
No.
So it's Miles Teller before he did Whiplash and Shailene Woodley. It's a really good movie. But Miles Teller plays a character named Sutter Keeley, and he is a raging alcoholic. But he's not an asshole or like a douchebag like Stifler or Wooderson. He's not going to take your chick. He just loves to throw down and party. He's just the life of the party, and the whole movie's about him getting his alcoholism under control and not becoming like his dad.
And he's in high school?
It's really good.
Oh.
But I would go with him because he is a ton of fun in that movie. He walks around with one of those styrofoam gas station cups that you think like soda would be in it, but there's like fucking liquor in it like the whole time.
I was just thinking about this.
So he would sneak in booze and we would all get fucking wasted.
Since you said this, I was just thinking about high school the other day. We used to not be allowed water bottles in high school because one kid one time like brought in like vodka. It was like, yeah, I want to get like shit.
Probably happened more than once.
Well, yeah, but it's like I want to get shit faced in like fucking high school physics class. Like, no, like I'm fucking dehydrated.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to those gross fountains every fucking 5 minutes.
Remember in Parks and Rec when they have a problem in Pawnee with everyone like putting their mouth?
Yeah.
I've
seen kids who've done that.
Yeah.
And there were only like 2 like really cold water fountains in like the entire fucking school.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't seen The Spectacular Now, really good movie. Sutter Keeley, awesome character. And I'm going with more of like, early morning detention. Everyone's probably already hung over on
Saturdays.
You got to drink off the hangover. Sutter Keeley's bringing the booze. So he's my party guy.
And start sneaking in alcohol to non-alcoholic events by bringing in like a 7-Eleven cup.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Speedway guy though. All right, my next pick, my athlete.
Athlete.
Yeah, I know. I said I'm leaving out Scooby-Doo because Scooby-Doo is a coward, and I don't think he has any athletic ability. But I can't not have a dog, so I'm picking AirBud as my athlete. AirBud is the greatest screen athlete ever. He's like a fucking like 6-sport athlete. Like he dominates like kids in every sport. Like who's the coach of the other team? It's like tackle that fucking dog. Like he's run for like 300 yards today. Or like that dog is like, why? How can we just let him like continuously bop the basketball off his nose into the hoop? He's a prolific athlete that other coaches can't seem to stop him, but he got detention today for shitting on the floor. And I think like if Shaggy brought enough pot, then like we'd be able to get AirBud to talk.
So you don't see Shaggy being pissed off that Scooby's not there?
Well, Scooby's pissed off because Shaggy's hanging out with a dog who's far superior and more athletic than Scooby.
AirBud. I didn't know that was a high school movie.
It is.
AirBud.
I think the original one, like the kids in like junior high, but then like the later ones, like, he's in high school.
It's like AirBud plays frisbee, and he just smokes weed with Shaggy.
Then he gets to talk, and he's like voiced by like who would he be voiced by?
Scrappy Doo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two shocking picks.
AirBud is voiced by Scrappy Doo.
All right. So you're going AirBud.
Yeah.
Interesting pick.
Yeah.
I thought of doing Tim Riggins from Friday Night Lights, but I feel like
That'd be a better pick.
I'd feel like he would get a bunch of people into trouble. Like, I'm not looking to get a suspension on top of already being in detention, even though we're sneaking booze in.
I almost picked Booby Miles.
Like, I don't want any asshole starting fights. That's what I'm talking about. So Riggins is out. I thought of Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street when he runs track, and Rob Riggle's like,
"That's a baton.
Don't throw the baton,
That's
you jackass."
That's a baton penis.
That's a great bit. But I don't want any undercover cops in there fucking narking on people either. So he's out. Arguably the nicest jock in a movie ever is Randall Pink Floyd in Dazed and Confused. I know he quits football, so it's kind of a cop-out answer, but he's friends with everybody.
I don't know if he quits. He just won't sign the contract.
But either way, he's always down for a good time. And he's
friends with
friends with
everybody.
the nerds. Yeah, the movie kind of revolves around him a little bit. So I'd kind of go with him. He's very chill, and he would definitely break the rules in detention as well.
Yep. And he's definitely not like your pretty boy quarterback. He's definitely like willing to get in trouble or has and will be in trouble because he refused to sign the contract.
He's named after one of the greatest rock bands of all time.
Yep.
I mean, that wasn't the deciding factor. But I feel like he's not going to start shit, gets along with everybody, and, he's down to clown.
I like that. I almost picked Booby Miles from the movie Friday Night Lights.
Oh, I know. He's a massive asshole.
Yeah. Booby been knocking you out. He'd been doing it with black Nikes on his feet. And he makes fun of that kid for having like white shoes.
And he tears his ACL.
And not like everybody wears like white shoes.
It's separate from Booby Miles.
Yeah. All right. My fucking nerd loser is there were a couple people that I wanted to go with. But I settled on Jimmy Neutron because
aren't they in grade school?
Yeah. But my top pick in like my head, the first thing I thought of was like Dexter's Lab. But he's kind of like an asshole. Like he doesn't like people in his lab. Like Jimmy likes people in his lab. And like I'm picturing like, since like they are in grades, he's smart enough to be in high school even though he's in grade school. I'm pretty sure there's an episode where he does like go to like the older classes. Like his shrink ray, like will you be able to shrink like AirBud and Shaggy down to like small size so that like the big 10-foot sandwich that Shaggy brought is now like 100-foot sandwich?
So the munchies and pot are really big into this one.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And also like Jimmy's lab is like a perfect place to go like after we're done with detention. Just because we can play around with his gadgets or like
that's how you get AirBud to talk.
Yeah. He's like he's got like Goddard, the robot dog to like translate, or like Jimmy has like he can like create clones of us to sit in detention while we all just like hotbox his lab.
Growing in there.
And his dad is always like giving great advice and talking about ducks and calling Jimmy's mom Sugar Booger.
Well, his dad's not going to be at detention.
Well, no, but if we like sneak out and like we're like our clones are in detention, then like he'll like come down to the lab with us and he'll be talking about ducks.
What a ragtag group you got here.
I know. My next two are like, like not as stupid.
No, I'm enjoying the stupidity. Who did I pick? I couldn't decide between Seth, Evan, and Fogel from Superbad, so I left all of them out.
I would have gone.
Oh, I love them.
I would have gone McLovin if I was picking like a
Fagel.
He says it in slow motion. It's my favorite scene in the movie. It was like it was right before he they run away from the cops, and then like Seth Rogen's like throwing up because he can't catch.
He's so fast.
He's the fastest kid alive.
I love when they're driving and it just flashes to the red light and they just flip on their signs, drive through and flip it off, and you just hear Bill Hader give like this snarky fucking laugh.
Like he's like, you always take calls at the bar because you get free beer out of it.
Oh, I love Superbad.
It's such a great
so
movie.
Funny.
It's such a great movie.
That'd probably be one of my top 3 high school movies. It's right there.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good one. I couldn't decide between any of them. I love them all so much. McLovin. Who else did I have? Oh, the two girls from Booksmart. But I feel like they'd kind of kill the vibe a little bit. If like we were all getting fucked up in detention, they might have a stick up their ass, and I'm not trying to kill that.
What do you think they got detention for?
Oh, something stupid, like the bell rang and they were in the middle of a serious conversation and they mouthed off to a teacher or something like that. But they're not on my list.
Want to know
Anyway.
who else? Like the fat guy from Mean Girls, who like goes into the meeting with the girls and he's got the hoodie on and he's like, she doesn't even go here. Like, that guy's awesome. I love him. I thought about him too, but I decided on Jimmy Neutron.
Is that his only scene?
No, he's in the whole movie.
Okay. I haven't seen Mean Girls in a while.
No, he's like the guy that hangs out with what's her name, the lesbian like goth girl that like Lindsay Lohan like is actually like friends with instead of like Gretchen Wieners.
I can't remember off the top of my head. But that's a good movie too.
Yeah.
Logan Lerman in The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Another movie I haven't seen.
Very good movie as well. His name's Charlie. And that movie is really cool because it's one of the few high school movies that focuses on the artistic introverts, kind of. So it's not about the end of the year party or the jocks or the social climbing and whatnot. It's just kind of about finding your people. And he's a freshman and he befriends Emma Watson and Ezra Miller, who are both seniors. And there's like a romance aspect as well. But he's this introvert who has no friends. He's one of those kids that gets along with teachers really well. But by the end of the movie, he grows into himself. He starts wearing suits and he's kind of quirky and he's like a really good writer and all this stuff. And he starts to get along with everyone. So I feel like you get him fucked up in detention, then he might add to that. You know, he's a non-threatening personality, so he's an interesting person to talk to.
Isn't Paul Rudd in that movie?
Yeah,
I think if we're talking about like now I haven't seen the movie, but I could imagine if I wanted like a teacher who's like watching like the Saturday suspension like detention group, like I would want Paul Rudd. Like,
for sure. Just Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be any character.
No, just Paul Rudd. I feel like we'd have a good time.
So that's another movie. Because I feel like both Spectacular Now and Perks of Being a Wallflower are two really underrated kind of teen angst movies that more people need to see. So I put
on
both of
Netflix
them
now,
on there.
right?
Yeah.
Okay,
They-
I gotta watch it.
I think they both are. If I'm not being mistaken.
Okay.
Okay, so you're socialite, you're popular person.
I went like the actual route and picked Ferris Bueller.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
It's a
You
no-brainer.
picked Ferris as well. Yeah, because like Ferris is the most popular person. Like, I think like one of the more underrated aspects of Ferris Bueller's Day Off is that everybody in town, everybody in school, like knows who he is and cares about him. And I think like that level of popularity, that movie will always like transcend time. Like, I know it happened in like the 80s and some of the stuff like that's in it is still kind of like outdated, but there's a reason why like people like pull like Ferris Bueller days when they like skip work or they skip school. Like he is like the pinnacle of like popular kid in like a high school movie.
Yeah. I can never decide too if he's a douchebag.
I think I don't.
He's
I mean,
snarky and disrespectful, but I don't think he's a douchebag.
From like a parent's perspective, like you could see it, but then again, like, you know, the only person who views Ferris as like a douchebag is Rooney, because you think maybe that like Jeannie thinks that he is, but then like Charlie Sheen is like, why do you care about like what your brother does? Like, your brother just has a good time and everybody likes him. Like, why do you care? You know? And then she like turns around and helps save him at the end. So I don't think he is. I think like maybe just like Rooney, who's like this like douchebag like high school principal who thinks like he needs to like act tough and you know.
Rooney was the kid that nobody liked.
Right.
And he got in a position of power. I mean, how many kids from high school do you see now getting jobs where they seem like they're demonstrating that complex on people? I can think of a few. But so that's how I think of Rooney. I love Rooney and Grace, the receptionist.
Oh my god, it's so funny. I love the way she says like dickhead.
Yeah,
the dweebs, the dickheads, they all love him. It's so funny.
Thank you, Grace. I think you're wrong.
I was like, Grace. It's so funny. And like Ferris's like mom is like talking and he's just like screaming into the phone.
It's unfortunate that Jeffrey Jones turned out to be a diddler.
Yeah, he was also in Stewart Little.
Or a supposed diddler.
I thought well, that mustache wasn't.
We don't need to talk about diddler.
He was also in Stewart Little, the 2001 movie with
the mouse.
Yeah, Dr. House is in it.
Not to be mistaken with Mouse.
And so is Jonathan Lipnicki, who was in Jerry Maguire and The Little Vampire. And what else is Jonathan Lipnicki?
I don't fucking know.
Who cares?
So, yeah, we're going Ferris. Another one was Lindsay Lohan from Mean Girls.
Yeah,
she's
well,
popular and she's not a bitch.
Right, and you don't want to pick like Regina George because she's like popular out of like fear. She's not like popular, I feel like, you know. But like Lindsay Lohan becomes popular just because she's like a nice person.
Yeah, so she'd be another one.
But she's like a wannabe bitch. Like that's the whole point of the movie. Because she gets like accepted in the group.
But not at the end, right?
No, yeah, not at the end. Yeah. Sorry. I'm getting work text in the middle of this. I hate to be distracted on my phone, but you see me texting. It's like a work text. I don't want to be texting during the show and show any type of, you know, like I don't care. I put together this list. I put together a serious list with fucking AirBud and Jimmy Neutron here.
Scooby-Doo.
Well, not Scooby-Doo.
Scrappy-Doo. Voiced by Scrappy-Doo.
Yeah, AirBud is voiced by Scrappy-Doo. Scooby-Doo isn't involved in this project other than Shaggy.
So the loner. Cut the last 2 fucking minutes.
My loner is Peter Parker from all Spider-Man properties. You know, obviously, like as like an Avenger, as like a superhero, his alter ego, like he is Spider-Man. But like Peter Parker is like the ultimate like loner for high school. Like he was a nerd before, he gained superpowers, and then he struggles every day to remain that loner and remain that like, you know, nerdy, quiet, smart kid because he knows, like, yeah, he could probably show up all these people with all of the amazing things he can do, like, as, like, a spider-powered human being, but he chooses not to, and I think to cap off this ragtag group of Shaggy, AirBud, Jimmy Neutron, Ferris Bueller, and Peter Parker, like, once everybody's, like, you know, been down in Jimmy's lab for a while, and the haze starts clearing, and like Peter starts crawling on the walls, and you're not sure if it's, like, real or not. Like, I think that'd be a pretty good end of the day.
I'm assuming you're going with Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland.
Yeah, going to Tom Holland, and in every sense, Tom Holland. You go with Tom Holland for Spider-Man, you go with Tom Holland for Peter Parker, and you go with Tom Holland, Spider-Man, for your loner.
So he's showing up as Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And him and all these animated characters mixed with live action.
I'm picturing like Tom Holland's Spider-Man is like the 60s Spider-Man that's like pointing at the other Spider-Man, and they're both like pointing at each other.
It works as a cartoon. Except for Ferris, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting detention session.
I don't know how Peter got detention because he was late. Ferris got detention because he got caught skipping school. Jimmy got detention because, like, he shrunk the fucking school with his shrink ray, or he, like, blew up the school with one of his fucking stupid rockets or something. AirBud got detention for pooping on the floor, and Shaggy got detention for smoking in the boys' room.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought about going with Napoleon Dynamite first.
Oh, that's a good one.
But I didn't because Napoleon fucking sucks.
I love
movie's so funny, but who would want to hang out with Napoleon, fucking Uncle Rico, and
well, you wouldn't hang out with Uncle Rico or Kip.
But everyone's interacting, and Napoleon, it would be no fun. It'd be like, Napoleon, you want to drink this? You know, Sutter's passing him the bottle, and he'd be like, that stupid look on his face.
I pick Pedro. I feel like Pedro would like fucking get shit faced.
Maybe.
Or Deb with her sideways ponytail and her fucking keychains or whatever. You see that girl over there? She left a bunch of crap on my porch.
See, you're drinking 1%. Is that because you think you're fat?
2%.
Oh, 2%? You could be drinking whole if you want to. The movie's so weird. I haven't seen it in a long time.
I love the opening song to it.
Remember when he throws the action figure out the window on the
That's like the opening scene.
So, not going Napoleon. I thought about doing Carrie White because if you bully her enough, she might murder everybody in town, and that'd be pretty funny. But I'm going to decide against that. I'd rather just get detention over with and maybe be drunk by the end of it. So, I'm going to go with Olive, Emma Stone from Easy A.
I see where you're going with this.
Well, I wasn't going like the slutty route because she's actually not a slut.
Well,
that's
right.
the whole thing. The reason is she's a bro. Her friend, I think it's Brandon, her friend's name is. But if you guys don't know the story,
it's a modern
her gay friend wants to be seen as straight so he won't get bullied in school. She does him a solid, and after, more people start coming up to her and want her to kind of, you know, act like she slept with them to elevate their status. I think she starts getting paid for it.
Yeah.
She makes a ton of money off it. And she's cool. Like, she's a very down-to-earth person, and she would
willing to sacrifice her own self-image for the image of others.
Yeah. And so she's a bro. I'd go with Olive. You know, she would definitely throw down in this mock detention we got.
Possibly she's putting out for real.
Maybe. But Sutter Keeley doesn't need it. Pink Floyd doesn't need it. Logan Lerman, maybe.
He's got
Ferris doesn't. Ferris has Sloan.
Yeah. Sloan.
So I feel like we don't need to get bogged down
In
in
that fringe jacket.
the sleeping aspect of it. Oh yeah, yeah, the fringe jacket. Bring it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good movie. That's the movie that like I fell in love with Emma Stone during. Not because she plays a slut, but because I really that's kind of what launched her a little bit after Zombieland.
I love her in Superbad.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's Jules.
When they're baking the cake and Seth's like pretending to like do all these obscene things behind her.
And then
Wait.
His line
Wait.
on the fucking soccer field. He's like, she wants to fuck me. She wants to fuck me. She wants my dick in and around her mouth. So funny.
This is interesting though, the two avenues we took. I made a group of people that I think there'd be some funny jokes and we'd all get hammered with and, you know, maybe get into some risque business by the end of detention. You went with a group that might fucking like solve a crime or save the world. Like with that group you have, it could be the beginning of a comedy superhero
That would be like
movie.
a hell of a fucking team up movie, honestly.
The High
Shaggy.
School Avengers.
Yeah. Matthew Lillard plays Shaggy. AirBud is played by himself. We're done. I'm done. I'm not going in on it. That's our list. Comment below your Breakfast Club, because I'm done talking about mine. My picks are made. It's Shaggy, AirBud, Jimmy Neutron, Ferris Bueller, and Spider-Man. I mean Peter Parker.
We should have just stuck with the original Breakfast Club.
Ali Sheedy was my runner-up for the loner because she's like the best one, and she's hot, and I love her in Short Circuit and Ninja Turtles and Psych.
If you guys have still stuck around by the remainder of this episode and you somehow like what we're doing, don't forget to like and subscribe. Dan and I have a ton of fun doing this. If you want more of our content, head on over to charactertheory.com, where we publish articles and give movie recommendations and all that shit.
Yeah, all that
shit.
All right, like and subscribe. Listen to our audio version on iTunes, podcasts, and SoundCloud. Don't forget to rate and review there. Give us 5 stars. We're 5-star men.
This might have been like a 2.5-star episode, though.
Yeah, be honest with us. But then also just give us your Breakfast Club, because we'd love to hear it. And keep watching movies. And I'm being Bender at the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is probably going to be the thumbnail picture.
I wish we had the fucking Don't You Forget About Me playing.
It'll probably be the... All right, bye.
Let's see. Sorry, guys.